Oh, on a train, oh, on a train, oh, on a train. Silver meteor, silver meteor.
Oh.
It's seasonal locomotive. M410, M410. It's the most beautiful intermodal. Whatever.
All right, like going on, everybody. David Mitchell here, and welcome back to Fans of Train and Fans of Train episode 57. I'm sorry that we're not having Dimitri on live stream tonight. Like we will both be doing a collab tonight, but let's just say he's busy having some time with a new girlfriend and her grandma. So kudos on him, and I hope he have a good one. So yeah, and I see that he's doing great now, but he's doing good. Sadly, he's not doing a live stream tonight, but the show must go on, and I decided to do it early. But, ooh boy, we got a lot to get down. And also, I'm going to bring our first guest in. Let's see, Griff busy. Griffin is probably busy. I'm not gonna lie. But holy cow, Amtrak new updated plan and all that. To bunkers. And I mean bunkers. And good God. It beyond know what is going on with it right now, it'll just drive you insane. Like, oh my God. It will drive you insane with what's going on. Like, whew. Did one thing. Amtrak updated and added new route. They also got rid of some with their Amtrak Connect Up plan. One route that they two routes in North Carolina that they got rid of. With I did agree they should have not gotten rid of and should have been part of the plan was the route to Asheville, North Carolina, using the old Fort Loop. They should have stuck with that one because that would have been a good route. So, no reason they didn't because Norfolk Southern is saying fuck them by not wanting to give them it, and because it rail bank anyway, meaning it not being used right now. It's not abandoned, it's rail bank. But eventually, hopefully one day we'll see it come back in service. So, yeah. But let's just say the stuff that is going on right now is not so pretty. And I'm not even kidding. Like, wow. Like, I've seen some messed up stuff going on, and we are really far behind when it comes to rail infrastructure. We need to rebuild our rail system. But, yeah. 1 minute. There we go, that clean. But holy cow, we're right now in a crap storm. But there are also another route that went to the coast of North Carolina, which they should have rebuilt. It abandoned rail line. Problem is that CXX won't let them build across some of the old abandoned line and bring it back in. That's the class 1s for you. Also, they are bringing back some service to Vermont, one of my favorite states. Also bringing some new trains to Vermont, so that's going to be interesting, and that I am hoping is pretty good. But yeah, a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. Also, there are powerful rumors that there might be a ghost strike. Not real ghost. workers still going on strike, but in a way that can still screw the railroads. So that might still happen. Really not sure. But my God, some of the crazy stuff that are happening right now, it's mind-boggling. Like, Jesus, it's crazy. Oh, and I'm wearing I love trains today. I got the magazine to review today, but stuff right now is crazy. And I mean crazy. But yeah. But holy cow, it's mind-boggling. Now, I am trying to talk to everybody today while I still have time. That reason why the live stream, I started it early. So I was going to wait until 8 o'clock, but Dimitri had sent me a message saying, hey, bud, I won't have time to do the live stream tonight. I am spending some time with my girlfriend and her grandma. So he's doing some good quality time with it good. Because I know how rough it was for him when he lost Holly. So I understand and I'm not mad. With it, I let him do that then, in pain and suffering from losing Holly. Because of what happened with the drugs. But it's crazy. Ooh. One minute, everyone. My live stream right now is talking about trains. But yeah, the thing that I'll be on it about is that it's crazy. Like, it's a crazy thing when you think about it. So yeah, well, let me send the link to everybody because it's crazy. But it's crazy. Holy cow. Heck, Vel in the background.
God. Okay.
But yeah. Oh, let me invite. Because I'll be honest, it's crazy. It is real crazy what's been going on right now with the Class 1 freight railroads and Amtrak and commuter rail. Have that whole bigger matter. But yeah, that whole thing, it's getting crazy with what's been going on. Like, literally, like, Amtrak have finally got it until it act together and finally got track rights to Mobile with a victory. Hopefully down the line they'll eventually get to Tampa, not Tampa, but Jacksonville, Florida, because originally before Hurricane Katrina, you were able to take a train from Mississippi and Louisiana to Jacksonville, Florida, and you would have been able to take a train right up. Ironically, back in day in 2007, I know you would have been able to take 2 trains to get to California from here. You've been able to take a train down to Jacksonville, get on to a train that head across all the way through Florida with the Sunset Limited. With most people don't know about it, but the Sunset Limited literally came from all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast. And that was a train we lost because of ignorance and stuff. I like broadcast filmers. Heck, I'll be honest. It's saying that I'll be on it about. Is that they need to bring the route back. Heck, I've been looking at it and it would be perfectly good. Like, we really messed up. I'm in a bit of a... But it's a crazy right now. Like, some of the people are busy right now, but yeah. But it really create rabbit hole right now. Like, Amtrak finally got one victory, or technically a couple of victories now. But good. And it's up in that a big step now. Now, there's one area that I love for them to bring freight back to, and it up there near Maine, and it in the Northeast, up in New England. And it's the Mountain Division. That they need to bring back. And the reason why is because if you look at how and the line set up, it is very vital. Even though the line abandoned, it been abandoned since the 1990s, or technically around the late 90s, early 2000s. If they rebuild that line from in one area up in Maine, and then our area from Boston, headed all the way up and then connected back up in Vermont, they can actually really bring back a lot of service. Heck, and it's something I agree with. Bring it back. We don't need everything to be run in unit train. Fuck unit trains. They're a problem. Let's see if Tom is busy. More like Tom is busy. But we're starting to see consequences of what happened when we make everything a unit train and try to put everything onto one type of car, one type of container. We're starting to see the consequences of it. And that I'm not going to lie about. We got to wake up to the problem. Because if we don't, we are going to be in a hole of a hole. And that I'm not even kidding about. A hole of a hole that we don't need to be in. And the thing is that everybody say, oh, oh, our country upgraded great system. No, it doesn't. Alan Fisher done made it clear, you know. Watch his video. It'll open y'all mind up. Our freight is now ranked number 20. Or check not number 20, number 18. Canadian Railroad, they rank around 17. Mexican railroads, they ranked in the 10s at number 10. So, yeah. We are really effing up. But it's just crazy when you think about it. I'll be honest, I am a little tired with the reason why I'm yarning, and also because the day was a clusterfuck of a day. Bad day at work. Yeah, not a good start for the new week. So, yeah. That not fun at all. And that I'm not going to lie. Let's see. But it did crazy. I'm going to see it make busy. Because, oh boy, some stuff that is going on right now. I think we need to get them to cut discussion going on most of it. Because, alright, I'll keep busy. Let's call Jason. Because we're going to talk a little quick about Train Sim World because of him. I'm going to bring it up. The new route, what I heard, are pretty good, but there are some good routes that I was talking about in the last week live stream, and most of them are up in Vermont. Like, let's be honest, there are some good Train Sim World route that they should try in Vermont. Vermont is a good area of the U.S. that should get represented. Like, my God, that area should be represented. Like, it's up around that area. It's a, So, yeah. It's just crazy when you just think about it. Wait a minute, let me check this. Alright. Check everything good, everyone. But I'll be honest. Vermont would be a good area for some Train Sim World routes. My point is that we really miss out when we decide to, try to do everything in Europe or mainline like Class 1. So like, come the freak on. Let's do something that don't evolve Class 1 freight railroad. If we want to do something like a regional or short line railroad, like for Pete's sake. Something like that. Not a freaking glorified commuter route. Now, there is one railroad, I think, and a YouTuber also talked about it. It's called the Music City Commuter Rail. And also the freight railroad that are right beside it, which is the Nashville and Louisville Eastern Railroad, which it's pretty interesting. It do, like, whole line and railroad only have one interchange, and that in the main city it's sure, but it go out. It's pretty cool railroad. I actually mapped out the whole chain. Like it worth it, but they are thinking about extending it farther down in the future, trying to connect it up to that one famous freight railroad. I can't remember the name that have the high hood U-boats. I can't remember the name of it. Dang it. I'll probably remember it in another live stream, guys. But they're thinking about and trying to do there. But yeah. I'll be honest. Reason why there are not that many people right now is because it is the beginning of the Christmas season. Like, heck, let's be honest. A lot of people are getting ready to start upload stuff in the next couple of days because a lot week before every kid get out of school and heck and start. Technically, they probably already got out of school a couple days ago, but yeah, it depends. Look like Jay Sean, I'm busy. One minute. But we need to think about how much need to go into improve our rail system. That means also we got to stand up to the freight railroad because if we don't start standing up to the freight railroad, they're going to keep on being tyrants. Keep on, controlling everything, making it hard for everybody, and a living nightmare. Like, and I mean a living nightmare. Because if we don't solve the problem, it's going to be bad. Like, my thing is that G Freight Railroad, they don't care about moving freight. All they care about is making money for the short term. That I'm now a mess. Sorry about that, everyone. But beyond it, unit trains, I don't think they're profitable. In the long run, they're well. I'm kind of had an oopsie. But yeah, but I'll be honest. There we go. That fix. Come on! Oh my god! Come on, let me have one. Come on! You know what? No. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. Dad. Can I have one, please? No. Come on. Hey, when do you have my food? Fine. Wait a minute. But I'll be honest. on it. Freight railroads, we need to start cracking down on them. Not regulate them like we did with what we did back in the 50s. But we need to make it where make the money do the walk, like Alan Flisser said. Or Alan Flesser, I meant to say. We need to make the money do the walk. That means we need to make them pay and all of that. And Alan Flisser video go into more in depth about it on what he is talking about. But yeah. But yeah. One thing that sucks about Sunday nights is you never know if you're going to have a good scene going or a quiet F scene. And that I'll be on about. Like you never know. And that's the thing most people don't realize. No one think about that.
Oh, thank you, David, for introducing Roma Army to me.
Oh yeah.
I'm starting to be a big fan of her because she called out each and every Karens in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know.
Even though I signed for a feminist group, but I have to remain neutral. Sorry, this is not a voice of autism. I'm sorry. This is feminist.
I know, Billy.
Side note, love you. I'm gonna tickle you. Anyway, I watch the sippers.
I'll be honest. All the train guys are probably busy how we speak. It did crazy. I'll be honest. There's a great thing happening right now, and I'm not gonna lie. Now, with the freight railroad, we do need to crack down on them. We do need to crack down, and I'm talking about the class 1, not regional or class 3s. They're dealing with the problem. And most people don't realize that. Like, literally, most people don't realize that in a way. And that's something that no one talks about. And it's so funny to think about it in reality. And by the way, most people don't know that it is a live broadcast.
With her temperament, I don't want to be part of the family shower.
What's sour?
Them.
Alright.
Tell them screw up. Wishing the best, but no thanks.
Baby sour?
Yes. We're talking about it right now.
Alright, but remember who you are.
And I'm sorry, don't be doing romance.
But I'll be honest. Class 1's.
Sorry, David. Did I? Sorry.
Yeah, you gotta stop doing that whenever. Well, advice from me, learn to control that. Even though you want to say it out loud, you got to control it.
Sorry, man.
Ah.
You messed with me earlier, so I'm messing with you in return.
To say.
Two-Face.
Not to say, I said to say.
Yeah.
Alright, now I'll try it again. Because I'll be honest, the thing that I'll be on about the freight railroads are too big for the bridge. And I'm talking about the class 1s. They're too big for the bridges. They abuse what they have to, like the airlines, you know? And it's something that people don't realize. Like, people don't realize it. And it's something crazy.
Excuse me?
And I'm dedicated to airline to not for long distance flight, but for short haul flights. Unless it across big deep body of waters. With there not that many around here anyway. My point is that we don't crack down on the big corporation hard enough. Or, you know, why not we get Heist in? Because another big YouTuber. But
Sorry, David.
more people need to, and it seems that I need to realize and get a grip that if we don't stop, then it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad, and I mean very bad. And the real thing. Like, it did crazy when you did think about it. Like, most people don't realize and to go like that. If y'all know what I mean. And that's something I really do mean. And most people don't even think about that. Like, when you think about that and go deep, you start realizing the big problem. I core Valley Poo. To say that my wife for you. What is your view on? What did you say, Valley Poo?
What is your view on Gandhi dancers?
Well, we need them for hard worker because they're the one who get the work done. Well, I admit your long hair already. Y'all don't know about Val. We cut her hair about 2 weeks ago, and I still miss that hair because it's something that I love.
They
from
thought
a-
Gannett dancers.
Gannett dancers are needed. The reason why we need Gannett dancers is because they keep freight running. Don't have them. We're going to have a lot of train derailments, signal failure, train collisions, signal malfunction. All the 9 yards. Most people don't realize. Like, it's something that people don't. Alright. Welcome to the stream.
Ooh.
Huh?
Welcome to the live stream.
Oh, cool. It's a live stream.
Yeah.
I've never been in one of these before.
Alright. Hey, I need to ask. How do you feel about the Amtrak Connect Up plan?
The Amtrak what?
Connects Up plan. They're planning for new Amtrak routes, you know?
I haven't heard anything about this. I haven't worked for the railroad for like a year now. so I'm just like, I'm not gonna deal with a lot of this railroad BS because it was bad when I was doing it. I only did it for a little bit. I just said, screw this. I'm doing something else for a living.
Well, Jane, it did the class ones for you. This is why a lot of people are moving from class ones to regional and short line railroads, you know?
Yeah.
But
well,
here,
the short lines honestly aren't that much better.
the short line, technically, it's the regional is where it's at. Like, the regional are one that treat their worker properly. The class 3 do treat their worker properly. It did that. They struggle with, trying to keep everything on tip-top shape, because their track is more run down and all of that, and, they have more restrictions and all that. But
that's not the case all the time because
it depends on where you're at in the U.S., Like here in South Carolina, like in some area where it's very swampy, you got to check almost every other week to every week. In some more area up inland, it every 2 to 3 weeks to a month. It depends on where you're at here in the Carolinas.
I want you to be in this video.
Oh, also, I just sent you the Amtrak Connect Up plan on Messenger. All the light blue are Amtrak new routes that they're planning to do. And Jane is that the 2022 one we had from Charlotte to Asheville, North Carolina. They should have kept that one because I'll be on it. The Asheville would have been very good for Amtrak, But
yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm from California.
oh, you know what's been going on with California high-speed rail. Ooh. All right, I'm going to bring that up real quick. Everybody always complain about California high-speed rail and how it a wait of time, a waste of money, and it take it too long. But they never talked about Interstate 69, which been being built at the 1970s, and it over budget. It been destroying people's houses. They never talked about that. Though people who are complaining about California high-speed rail are a bunch of hypocrites,
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to think about it. No one complains about the interstate like Alan Fisher did a video about it. And his video really opened up on what our problem is because we rather build for cars instead of people in transit.
So, my whole opinion on a lot of transit projects they are done poorly.
That because
they don't.
They don't go in the right area. They're always built with freaking humongous car parking lots. Like, look at any train station that you look at in some area when it comes to commuter rail, have a freaking open parking lot that is desolate. And I'll bring it up. Europe, if you go to Europe and have their train station, it in the middle of a downtown, and in the middle of a neighborhood that is very beautiful, very cute, I'll be honest. But instead of doing that, we're literally shooting ourselves in the foot saying, here where you can park your car and get on a train and go the F nowhere, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the only area that is doing it right, I'm in Florida, or AKA Brightline in Florida. They're doing it right. Like, I'll be honest, Florida with Brightline is pretty good, you know? But, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really know that much about that, so.
Well, if you want to know more and show people the truth and why we need to support transit in the country, I can at send you some of this stuff. It will open your mind up on how much we need to bring back to the country. You know?
Yep.
We did can't.
Well, I'm better at answering more engineering type questions. I'm not super great on the policy side of things.
All right.
But I did do an entire paper in college on how district heating would be far better than non-district heating. But I guess that's not really railroad related, is it?
It is too. It actually is when you think about it. The thing is, most people don't realize this, is that we forgot to control the railroads and they got out of hand, you know? Like, there was a point where we went too hard on the railroad, now we're going too easy on the freight railroads, you know?
Yeah, well, so the issue that a lot of freight railroads are running into right now is that, well, they don't really care about their customers. They don't really care about being good neighbors or anything, if they ever were that.
All they care about is the short-term profit. They never care about the long run, you know? They only care about the short-term, and I hate to say it, they'll run the railroads to the ground and then run with the money, you know? To another country, you know? Am I right?
Yeah, it really seems like this.
Because I'm surprised that government don't crack down on the road, because didn't that prove that Democrat and Republican are the same and that they don't care about the people? At the moment when both sides voted to stop the railroad strike, the moment they voted to stop that did, I want faith in both sides, you know? They did prove on how much they care about our country, but they really don't. You know? That matter if you're Democrat or Republican. Am I right?
Yeah, that was somewhat disappointing, but generally, yeah, I can't really get into politics, though.
It's understandable, but
if I get into politics, it's gonna be a little bit too heated.
I understand. Like, heck, I've been through heated stuff before. Now, what railroad did you work for?
I worked for Class 3 short line very briefly.
Was it owned by Genesee in Wyoming?
Oh, hell no. I would never work for them.
Oh, so true. if you want to work for a good railroad, try R.J. Corman. R.J. Corman, they respect their workers. Heck, R.J. Corman wasn't giving the advice to the people who were thinking about doing the railroad strike because their founder, he respected his workers, you know? Same with the family. Like, look up saying about R.J. Corman Railroad and the documentary about him. Guy is a total good guy, you know? He died around the 2010 from cancer, but his family keep his legacy going and they treat their worker with respect, you know? And I heard from people who do work for R.J. Corman that they outly do work better than class ones, you know? And that thing is that R.J. Corman is from the Midwest to the East Coast. I know that they're trying to get out to California with some line, like buy up some short lines, but thing is that Genesee and Wyoming is total garbage. Like, I know Genesee and Wyoming, a bunch of rail fans hate their locomotive. Like, good God, all the way yellow and not yellow, orange, yellow, and black. Like, seriously, am I right? Like, good God, everywhere, you know? Like, But what was the name of the short class 3 railroad you worked for?
Honestly, I like to keep that information private.
Because I know there are 3 class 3 railroads in California that are right now in some controversy right now with some collusion.
With what?
Collusion, you know, like doing stuff that is illegal.
Well, I don't really work with trains all that much anymore. I don't really do anything at the museums no more. I don't really. I worked for an amusement park for a long time. Did a lot of the railroad stuff there, and I don't do that anymore. So, I can tell you about how we fix stuff and how we did things, but that's honestly about it. If you want to talk about running power plants, I can talk about that too. But
well, the power plant thing is not up my alley because I talk about the train stuff, you know, the train side. But I'll be honest, if we want to get the country back on track, we got to focus on bringing our railroad system back up to date, you know?
And I'm not disagreeing with you there.
And also, we gotta quit with the unit train. Good God, the unit trains are not profitable. Why do they even make the unit train? They're like a dang on excuse. Only thing unit trains are good for are one big bulk item. But when it comes to multiple customer and multiple sub and commodity, you're really screwing over the little guy and other businesses that need rail too, you know?
Okay, so from a customer standpoint, so unit trains aren't necessarily bad. They're actually really efficient because they're doing what there are some customers that need this. They need to move a lot of material at the same time. Like say you have a coal-fired power station and you need to get a lot of fuel at the same time. You're probably burning a few thousand tons of coal a day.
That I agree with. I do see the point right there and with intermodal, but when it comes to mixed freight and manifest, you're kind of screwing over the little guy because they try to put everything into a manifest, and they try to put every manifest train into a unit form, you know? And that is a little too far, you know? Like, there is a place for unit trains, but stop trying to cram it down every area. Am I right?
I haven't really heard of them doing that with the manifest yet. have rail, then you might end up dealing with a company that doesn't want to ship your stuff anyway.
True, and that problem is why we need to bring back Conrail right here. You know, everybody's saying we need to bring back Conrail. What I hate to say, they're right. We need to bring back Conrail. We need to bring back the National Rail System, a.k.a. Conrail. Am I right?
It's just like a, well, there's your problem type show, or...
Yeah, and also Alan Fisher. Have you heard the name Alan Fisher?
Yeah, don't make me go on a communist rant.
I know, but here, Jane, some of the stuff he does say is right. You know, I hate Jane, but some of the stuff he does say is true when you think about it deeply. You know. And he also brought up the big four Class 1 railroads, Union Pacific, BNSF, Norfolk Southern, and CSX. He also brought up about all of them being duopoly. Do you know what a duopoly is?
A what?
A duopoly is where multiple companies work together to profit together and keep their competition out.
You mean a duopoly?
Yes. Union Pacific, CXX, Norfolk Southern, and BNSF have been doing that, and I'm surprised that the government have not caught on and cracked down on that yet. Am I right?
Okay, well, trying to stop myself from going full commie here, but I do believe that a state-owned rail system would not be a bad thing, especially in this country.
I agree with you.
Because the purpose of rail in a larger economical and societal sense isn't necessarily for that the rail to make a profit itself, but it is to enable every other business around to make a profit and be able to produce their goods with efficient and inexpensive transportation.
Exactly. And Dane, like, the U.S. was so good at that back in the day, back all the way up until the 60s, and then jump and change. And that was with Eisenhower back in the 50s with the Interstate Act and the Interstate Commerce Commission, you know? I hate Dave. Eisenhower was one of our worst presidents, and reason why, well, when he wrote the Interstate Act, do you know where all that money came from to build all the interstate and highways came from? Most people don't know about it, but most of the money that came to build the interstate and highways came from the railroads. The money was forthwith taken from the freight railroads, which also did passenger rail back. It was forthwith taken from them and gave it to their competition, and the competition was tax-free. Also, the railroads were very heavily restricted back in the day, you know? So, with accommodating like that, it really screwed over the railroads, you know?
Yeah.
Like my friend Demetria from the American Rail Club, we talked about that, and he did a full video about it and what really happened. And it's mind-boggling because it makes you realize how far down we came. Like, let's be honest, we were a great country all the way up until the 50s because we decided to swap over to the car, and the car is not freedom, you know? It's total BS. Everybody say, "Oh, trains are communist." No, it's not. Not if you want to think of what real freedom is, it being able to choose what you're able to drive and what you're able to ride, and without having to buy a car to go anywhere. You know? Am I right?
It would be really nice if I did not have to drive an hour to go to work every day.
Exactly. Tina, do you want the YouTube channel Noxus Spikes?
I've watched a few of their videos, yes.
The stuff he say is true. And here at Tain, he actually talked about how the Netherlands used to do what the U.S. did all the way up until the 1980, and then people from the Netherlands started realizing, saying, what the hell are the Americans thinking? And they started getting rid of their interstate and highway. They even got rid of their suburban developments, you know? And thing is, that made their people happier. It improved their country, you know?
Yeah.
Thing is, suburbia is also a big scam, you know? And it did causing our city to go into debt, let's be honest. Am I right? I know you guys got suburban development like cancer over there in California. Am I right about that?
Well, you're not wrong there.
Heck, I looked at it, and it one of the connection reason why the droughts are so bad in California. Am I right?
Well, the droughts are a compound issue. A lot of it's because of climate change, but there's also a lot of it, well, simply because we're growing stuff like alfalfa and stuff. We're growing really water-intensive crops in a place that never really got a lot of water, and the amount of water that we're getting is decreasing.
Mm-hmm. And Jane, is it that the whole reason they keep on doing it because of greed and money, you know? Like that, the only reason that it's getting worse is because greed and money, you know? Once the money out, they're going to move somewhere else, you know?
Yup. That's so true.
They're going to move somewhere else and then do it all over again, you know? They really don't care about the people. They care about it getting rich to their wildest dream and then F all the poor people, you know?
Yep.
Am I right?
Well, so the thing about a lot of farmers in California is that we are, like most of us have been here for a long time, but it's also getting increasingly harder to run a small farm. And you got a lot of people who, honestly, you got people coming in, their families were never really in ag or anything.
In agriculture,
so,
I know.
And they buy up a lot of the property.
And thing is that most people don't realize that, but yeah. But also, here's something, you know where Eureka, California is?
Yes, I know where California is. That's my home turf.
You know they need to rebuild the rail line there. They need to stop trying to turn that into a freaking bike trail. Like, good God, like, quit trying to turn something that need to be brought back for rail transit into something that no one is hardly going to use, you know? Because why are they trying to turn that into a green trail when in reality, because they're trying to turn it into a bike trail, that's one of the worst areas you can ever put a freaking walking trail, because let's be honest, on it right there where the Eel River is, it's a middle of nowhere. Am I right?
Since I am from that area of California, I have a little bit more input on that whole fiasco. So basically, I mean, up here it's weird because so timber was the biggest industry. The lumber industry started dying probably around 1970, not quite 70, maybe about 1980. Lumber industry starts dying, the carloads start going down, and it's just a very expensive piece of railroad to maintain.
Well, you can keep on talking, my bad.
But what killed that line in the long run?
What the flood of in the 1990s, because I know for a fact they had a devastating flood in the 90s that destroyed the line. Ironically, most people don't know about it, but they were actually going to try to rebuild the line after that. But the FRA And I guarantee it was corrupt, and I guarantee someone paid the FRA off to say, nope, you're not allowed to rebuild it, you know?
No, it wasn't the FRA saying that. It was, so at that point, that railroad was funded by the state, right? So that railroad was funded by the state, and the state just didn't want to put up the money for the organization that they promised that they were going to, keep going. Because again, the main purpose of a railroad is to move commodities to benefit people and the economy. So the state originally wanted to keep this railroad going, but just after about, I think, 1998, they just kind of gave up. They gave up and didn't keep their promise of keeping it going.
You know, James, that I looked up after that line went abandoned, and it seemed that I started noticing pollution on the road that went from Eureka to San Francisco. The pollution on that road went up when that line went abandoned. Like, I checked with a friend of mine, and the CO2 levels went up even more, meaning all stuff that could have been traveled by a train was being traveled by road. Also, the river right there in the Ill River actually got more polluted because of more car chemical from the cars being run off. Also, a lot of illegal activity up there, you know what I mean? Because a friend of mine, he'd fly a drone through that area, and he literally spot multiple drug farms left and right along the Ill River, right where the old right-of-way used to be, you know? The point is, something is going on up there that is illegal, and they don't want the rail line being rebuilt because it will probably destroy their business, you know?
Okay, so here's the thing about weed grows up there. One, they're not growing just random drugs. They're growing marijuana. I gotta be specific about that.
I know marijuana. I know that, but there are also other stuff that they grow up there too.
Like what?
Like a friend of mine, he actually saw them planting a coke plant. You know.
I can't imagine coke would grow very well up there.
Well, funny thing is, it's kind of odd because he said the same thing too, you know? But they're getting deaf for trying to make money, you know?
Yeah, so right now, weed is not a very good cash crop because in California it's legal, so they're just taxing it.
Now, here's the other reason why they need to bring back that rail line. You know, the port of Eureka? Did think about it. What happened back a couple of months ago, over a year ago, in the port when they had all the container ship? Did think about it. If they had, kept the track insert in Eureka and made that into a deep sea port for a container ship, what we've been seeing in LA would have never happened if they had made a deep sea port right there, you know? So that kind of shot themselves in the foot right there because did think about it. Eureka is a good spot for a deep sea port too, you know? All you have to do is to dredge out the bay, you know? And
it's a good spot until you take into account your only rail access is a notoriously unreliable rail line.
Heck, look what the Alaskans did, with the Alaskan Railroad. Like, heck, we could Alaskan that crap out of the little river, you know?
It would be better to reroute it.
That I agree with because I think rerouting, like rebuild the line up to the Eel River and then reroute it around the Eel River. Am I right?
That would be a good idea to build it through a different canyon that is more stable, and they should have done a better geological survey before they put that line there 100 years ago, and they already knew about most of the problems.
And Gina, what Camden do you think that would have been a better route instead of the Eel River? What area?
I would have to look at a map.
Because I know there is another area. And the thing is like, heck, I remember that they built avalanche dam for landslides, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Problem is that the Eel River already polluted. You know, even if they rebuild the rail line, it already been damaged beyond repair. And then, you know, them fake, you know, environmentalists are really doing it to try to stop the rail line from being rebuilt, you know?
Yeah.
Am I right? Because...
Yeah,
But...
When I was a kid, so the Northwestern Pacific Railroad is the railroad that goes through my hometown. And when I was a kid, I did not think I would ever see trains on it. And I knew that the track went all the way up to Eureka. I mean, back then Eureka was some far off place that I'd never been to. I've been to Eureka, and it can be a rather depressing town.
Well, I looked it up, and the reason why the town is so depressed, if you look at when the line went abandoned, that when the town started going downhill, because I looked at a photo before the line went abandoned and then after. Like, Jesus Christ, that line was the lifeline of that town. The road would not been able to help, you know? Everybody say roads would keep a town alive. That complete BS. Roads are just straight up cancer, you know?
So, I mean, when you're talking about Eureka, it's a very hard place to get to. Now, it's like everything from gas to food is a little bit more expensive up there because the transportation is so hard.
Mm-hmm. And I will be honest, the consequence of that was them abandoning the rail line. Let's be honest, if they have never abandoned that rail line, Eureka, California would have been better off. Am I right? It did that. The greedy governor at the time, it won that at the fault. Am I right?
You definitely got a point there.
Because all they care about was saying, ooh, it got to make a profit. Ooh, it got to make a profit. We got to stop doing that, because if we start putting that expectation on our rail system with what we're actually doing with the Class 1 railroads, we're going to be seeing something even worse than the Penn Central collapse back in 1969. Which, that was bad. I'm not going to lie. But I talked to a couple other people who lived in California and went to Eureka, and they agreed that line needs to be brought back. Jane,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, what were you trying to say?
Well, I think what I was going to say is that yes, it probably would have been better for the well-being of that region if the railroad had stayed. But also, by the time the railroad left, it was already starting to go downhill.
That's true, but if you did think about it, places that go downhill eventually come back uphill. And the thing is that Eureka, California never got that chance to be rebounded because of them abandoning the line. Like, I actually had a friend of mine that lived here in the Carolina who actually came from Eureka, California, and he said, he in his 40s now, he said if they had kept that rail line in, Eureka, California would have been able to rebound, you know?
Yeah.
Heck, their rebound never going to happen because the line is abandoned. The only way they can rebound if they rebuild that line, you know? And God forbid, if they turn it into a bike trail, that will be the nail in the coffin for Eureka. That will be their nail in the coffin if they turn that into a bike trail. You know? And that I'm not going to lie about.
There's not really a whole lot they can do at this point. Because it's just seems like almost everyone in the region is not exactly for it. It's a political issue. Is it possible to rebuild that mine? Yes, it's definitely possible. Are they going to do it? No.
The only way you can do it if you call out the people in Senate for their corrupt stuff. Like a friend of mine, he also runs the YouTube channel, The American Rail Club, named Demetrius. He literally went. He used to live in Florida, and when he was part of Brightline, he literally went to one of their meetings, and it was all the boomers, boomers and Gen X, people who were born from the 50s all the way up until the early 70s, And what happened is that he went in there and exposed him. Why are you doing it? Why are you doing this? And he got 4 of them arrested for a corruption. I'm not even joking. He literally got 4 of them because the 4 people he got arrested for corruption literally was dead against commuter rail in Miami. He literally destroyed their careers and got them arrested. Just imagine if we do that to the people there in California who are dead against it. Oh my God. Like, we got to do the research and check their background and stuff because some of them are dumb enough to, flood it out there all over the internet. Am I right?
Honestly, I don't really know enough about that in particular to comment on it.
But think about it. Some of these people are dead against the line being rebuilt to Eureka. There got to be some dirt on them, If there is...
Well, there's dirt on every politician.
I know that, but just think about it. Any politician that is dead against it, if you want to weaponize it against him, go to a meeting and call them out on live TV because some of these meetings are actually, stream on TV and the internet. Because that's what my friend Demetrius did, and it really nuked half of them people. I'm not even joking. I can actually send you the video that he done it in, I will probably do that later on tonight. I will send you a couple of videos you got to watch, and it will blow your mind. But my thing is that we're actually, if we want to save Eureka, California, we're going to have to, find dirt on most of the people who are dead against the rebuilding of the line, And there probably is dirt on them, Probably sex scandal, drug scandals, Even money laundering, I would not be surprised if there were money laundering, to stop it from being rebuilt. And that right there can actually get them arrested, So the sky is the limit, am I right?
Yeah, I guess.
But most people don't even think about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I will invite you to the American Rail Club group, and I'll also send some of the American Rail Club videos to you where you can see what my friend do. Because it will open your mind up, and it will want to make you fight for rail into the country even more. Trust me. Because it's stuff that we need to bring up,
I mean, really the main thing that I care about rail for is I need the stuff to get to where it needs to go in a timely manner.
Mm-hmm. And that I agree with, you know? I agree with that. And dang it, there are multiple ways we do that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And by rail, you know? Now here at 7L, do you know how and something that most people don't think about that? Do you know why airline make a lot of their money from?
What?
They make most of their money from short haul flights, or how they make most of their money, you know? And airlines are actually really not profitable. What they do is that they get subsidies from the government at the beginning of the year, and they try to keep on making money, but they keep on failing, you know? They've been doing it since the 1918s, you know? But yeah. But I can send you the videos about that. It'll blow your mind on some stuff. But I'm probably going to try to get a couple more people on before I end the live stream. So you have a good night.
All right, you too. Bye.
All right, later. All right. That was our first of the night. And we got a lot of information right there. Mm-hmm. I am never. A minute, everyone. Ooh. 1 minute. Oh, I got to kick someone out of the group. Again. I just had something bad happen. Why do people always do this in group? But it's it crazy when you think about it. I'm not even kidding. It really is. Alright. I do not. Alright. Just so weird. But I'll be honest. Speaking out there, we had a train going by. I can hear. Probably going to be a meetup. But let's see who is online right now. Let's get the squad in. Let's get the squad in, guys. Look like the guys are busy. One minute. didn't know, everybody, it is getting ready for the holiday season, so prepare for a lot of stuff. Seems that everybody is busy. And it's good. I just had something messed up happen earlier. But yeah, let's get back to the Amtrak Connect plan. The thing that I do see with Victoria with to Mobile is that one phase to get into Jacksonville, they're one step closer, The interesting is that one part of their line is not going to be on CXX anymore, but on a Class 3 short line, with it kind of odd, but it means a lot of going to go on. Most people don't realize that. Ugh. All right, and you guys seen what I was doing earlier? I had to take my glasses off in case something reflected off because one of the group I was in, someone sent some inappropriate crap on, which I had to kick the guy out. So I don't support that. But yeah. Ooh, want that? Okay. 1 minute. There we go. Ugh, know it. Because I'm an admin, can I just remove this shit? I gotta figure out. Reason why No. Oh. Charcoal. Right. Hey man, you doing good? Oop. Right, there we go. Oh, don't need my telephone. Right. Oh, yeah, Phil? 1 minute. Oh, hold it 1 minute, man. Hey, can you hear me? Oh, I tried it. Oh, I tried it. Okay. Well, let me try it. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. Hey, do you see the Amtrak Connect Up plan?
Yeah, it's ambitious to say the least.
Dude, 2 routes that I think they should have kept on there got removed. Or technically a couple, and they were down here in the south,
I don't have your stream on. Give me a second.
Oh.
So I can see what you're talking about. Subscriptions. Oh, I'm on the wrong YouTube account.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's this one.
Well,
there we go. Alright. How do I...
Right, I mean, man, You remember the original Amtrak Connect-Up plan where they went up to Asheville, North Carolina?
No, I don't really remember the first one, to be honest.
All right, in the first one, they had a route coming from Winston-Salem going to Asheville, North Carolina. That would have been a good route. They kind of shot their jump in the foot with that.
Can you send me the old map and the new one?
Oh, yeah, I will.
I saw the new one, but I couldn't find a picture of it. But I don't know the old one.
All right. The thing is that thing that they messed up on with the original Amtrak route, the thing that I'm going to say, they could have, already did it. The only reason they did not went to Asheville was because Norfolk Southern had the old Fort Loop rail bank,
Yeah.
Which kind of sucked. But the line is not fully abandoned because they still got one local train that come through on the route, even though it's rail banked. One minute. I'm looking at the Amtrak's up for their plan,
What route are you most excited for running?
What route that Amtrak is planning to do?
Yeah.
The new extension for Vermont,
No, they already did that. To Canada?
Yes. They're bringing back the Vermonter. All right, I found the old map from a year ago.
I was most excited because it looks like they're bringing the Northern Pacific North Coast Limited route back.
I know, and that needed to happen,
Well, it didn't need to happen because from like a business standpoint, it's kind of stupid. But I like how they're doing it. It's obviously not going to turn a profit, but it's going to be a really nice road.
Let's be honest. Thing that I am looking forward to eventually them getting back to Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, they're bringing that back too, and they're bringing the Desert one back.
Oh, all right. I am about to send you the old one. And you're about. Come on, upload.
I'm playing City Skylines right now, and I'm in creative mode practically. And I just made a city based around an airport. There's a train station. There's a bus station. That's it. And then there's some buildings.
Oh, dude, we got a train freaking stopping on the outside right by my house.
What happened?
We got a train stopping inside of me, and Amtrak getting ready to go by.
Yeah, that's the old one. So they're playing in Las Vegas, and they showed California High Speed Rail on there. They showed Texas High Speed Rail. That's cool.
Now here, Jane, here's the thing with the new one. It's interesting because they're now going down to Mexico. They're planning to do Mexico.
That's cool. I saw Ohio's getting 8 trains. That's interesting. I'm surprised they didn't show Brightline on here. Either corridor didn't show Brightline.
Well, Brightline and Amtrak don't get along. Let's be honest. I agree with not Amtrak, but Brightline because Amtrak don't do crap right sometime. Am I right?
Yeah, and I feel like they see Brightline as a competitor to them instead of the other two obviously not competing with them.
But I can see why because think about it. Amtrak never had competition.
No.
And the Amtrak for competition, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll be on it. Amtrak for competition, and it started down in Florida, and reason why I think they're bringing the Desert Wind back is because, let's be honest. Same with the Desert Wind. Reason why, because of, the high-speed rail line that they're planning to start building next year from Las Vegas to Bakersfield. Am I right?
Yeah.
So they want to be prepared for that. You know what I mean?
Huh?
They want to be prepared for that. Now, here's something interesting with the Desert Wind that I noticed. The Desert Wind is going to go all the way up to Salt Lake City and all the way up there to Idaho. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I think they should just send it all the way up to like Spokane or Portland or something.
Yeah, like heck. And I do see the new corridor right there in Colorado. Like, let's be honest, there's probably going to be a corridor in Colorado in the next couple of years, with Denver being the headquarters. Am I right?
Yeah.
Because think about it, going from that one city in Wyoming all the way down to Cheyenne, like the whole area right there would be a good corridor, you know?
Yeah, but isn't it only one train?
No. There both be about 15 trains in both directions. About 15 to 16.
That's not that happening. I think that's as much as the Northeast Corridor, a little less. Like, hold on. Yeah, no, that's probably as much as the Empire Corridor. I doubt they do that many. Probably like 6 would be nice.
Now, you remember last week when we would talk about Train SimWorld route,
Yeah.
and we would talk about Vermont?
Yeah, I put it on their like forums or whatever the hell.
Yeah, like, did think about it. Like, Vermont would be one of the easier. Heck, you got freaking 4 routes in Vermont that you can use, you know? There are 4 rail routes with one.
I got the new German route.
Ooh. I heard it pretty
like it.
good.
It's alright. It's not great. It's not as good as the one that was released with the game.
Oof. But
it could be better. It's like 100 miles an hour pretty much the whole way, which is nice, but and then there's these 2 sections where it's slowed down a little bit, but other than that it's alright.
But I'll be honest.
They didn't add the ICE one, and they didn't add I think that was the only thing from the roadmap they didn't add. You go.
Now here's something else I am thinking about. Like with the rail lines in Vermont, like what rail lines or like what subdivision of the Vermont Railroad do you think would be the first one that they should do, you know?
Well, when I said last week, they should do God damn it, Burlington to Tube Station South on Amtrak. That was a good like little route they could do.
It would. Heck, yeah, another train about to go by.
I don't think they could do any more than that because that would just make the route too long.
Heck, well, they could do our road, like, you know, one with the tunnel. I can't remember what area it is, but you know the one with the tunnel that Amtrak goes through in that one town, you know?
That's the Vermonter. I was talking about the Ethan Allen.
Yeah, but the thing about the Vermonter route would be damn good too, am I right?
It would, but it would be a little more complicated.
Even though it would be more complicated, it would be more rewarding because the thing about it, a lot of people would want to buy that route, you know? Like, both routes with them being Vermont, let's be honest, anything that in Vermont... Oops, sorry.
No, you're good.
Anything in Vermont, like, heck, I remember one route in Train Simulator, and I'm talking about Train with a Z, went so popular, they actually added it to one of their deals, or not DLC, I can't remember because it had been a couple of years ago. It was a route that was made, that was in Vermont, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people loved it, you know?
Uh-huh.
But I'll be honest, Vermont got a lot of interest in railroad area that they could use in Train Sim World, you know?
Yeah.
And there was another one that I came up with in Tennessee, you know? I do remember
you said that, I just forgot what it was.
There are a couple areas in Tennessee that would be pretty good. Like, have you ever heard of the Music City train?
Yes.
The route that a part of it, like, didn't imagine that being a commuter rail and a freight route, didn't imagine that a good DLC.
Well, I think, my issue was they didn't have enough U.S. regional rail. It's everyone's commuter rail besides the Boston Sprinter, and I guess if you count the Caltrain Baby Bullet as one.
But here, Jane...
Other than that, it's all commuter.
But here, Jane, they're not that much freight variety, you know? Like, when it comes to American route, we only get maybe one or two freight routes. And then we get a whole...
there's a lot more. They're not as slept on as just U.S. petty roads.
Heck, you know, one thing with the Horseshoe Curb or, you know, the Scranton line in Pennsylvania when they did that DLC, they really missed out on bringing Amtrak to that, you know?
What was the second one you said?
You remember one right there with the Pittsburgh line?
No.
The Norfolk Southern Pittsburgh line with the Horseshoe Curve?
Oh, in Train Sim Classic?
I'm talking about in Train Sim World 2.
Oh, no, I don't remember that. I thought it was just Horseshoe Curve telling us something.
No, they brought Horseshoe Curve to Train Sim World 2 back when Train Sim World 2 was still out, you know?
Yeah.
I
remember that.
My thing is that they missed out on bringing Amtrak to that, you know?
Yes.
That would have been good for Amtrak too, you know? And they kind of shot themselves in the foot with that.
Yeah.
Hopefully we do get a good Amtrak route soon, you know? Or like a route that have Amtrak and not the commuter or freight, but something that have both, you know?
Yeah.
Heck, the line up in Vermont would do well, am I right?
Well, yeah, that was my point. It's pretty simple. They could easily make it.
Mm-hmm. Heck, they already got the passenger car. All they didn't need is a locomotive. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, they just need to make the Genesis. They can use for other routes, too. If they want to do the P-32, they could use it for Metro North. Or if they want to do the P-42, they could use it for their Amtrak routes.
You know, one thing I was thinking about is the train that go up to Vermont.
Yeah, the Down Eastern.
The Down Eastern would be a good route too, you know?
Yeah.
That a nice small route, you know?
It's not a small route. I went on it. It was 2 hours.
In a 2 but it would be still good, am I right?
Yeah, I guess, but yeah, no, that could work.
And it also got freight on it too, like you got variety with freight too, am I right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what railroad is on there.
And you got a lot of freight operating. Well, you got freaking 4 rail yards in a 2-hour distance. Am I right?
I think so.
Like, I know you got a rail yard right there, right as you get into the main city right there in Maine. Then another one right there right before you get out of Maine. 2 before you get to Boston, you know?
Yeah.
You got a whole setup right there for another good route. And heck, you could do local, you could do mainline freight, you could do commuter trains, you know?
Yeah.
That is one area that have it all. That right there would be a Goldilocks, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Yeah.
But let's get back to the Tennessee one with the Music City. The Music City train and also the Nashville and Louisville Eastern Railroad, what the city train runs on, would be a good route, you know, because you got freight and commuter trains on that route too. Am I right?
I think so.
Also, you got a tourist railroad on that route too, you know? You got a freaking tourist railroad, so you can actually do tourist trains too.
Yeah.
That a bonus, am I right? You got the Louisville Railroad Museum, if I'm right, you know?
Yeah.
So, good God, that run right there will be a beast in itself. Am I right?
Yes.
Like, most people don't even think about this. But, yeah. But I do think they need to do a lot more short line railroads, too, in Train Sim World, because, let's be honest, we would love to see a lot more short line railroads in Train Sim World. You know?
Not my cup of tea, but I know you'd like it.
Heck, because let's be honest, there are a lot of people out there that love switching. Like, I talked to some guys on the Facebook group, and they said that they would love to see a railroad that and not focus on commuter or long distance freight all the time. You know?
Do they only have U.S. stuff?
Oh,
There's a lot of German switch. There's a lot of the German switching is different because you just move around whole trade loads. You don't do car by car.
I know, but some of the guy wants some American switching routes. You know?
Yeah. Well, as I say, the German switching isn't. The couplers are kind of annoying to use.
That's true. Ironically, the German couplers are pretty crappy. That's why I prefer American couplers.
Well, yeah, all of Europe on a whole is trying to change their the couplers they use to EMU style ones.
Like, instead of going to the network couplers, they're going straight to, futuristic. Am I right?
Yeah, which I guess is good.
But it will suck because we'll never see what a German locomotive with an American knuckle coupler look like. That sucks.
ALP 45-6.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Dude, I completely forgot about that one,
New Jersey Transit literally just bought BR, what are they? Yeah, the 101s, and then just slapped a Bombardier body on it and painted it in Jersey Transit and called it a day.
I completely forgot that,
Yeah, no, because I was in Princeton Junction once, rail fanning. I was like, wait a second, these sound familiar. What the hell? And I was like, oh, it's a BR 101 because on 46 it was a BR 146, which is a Trex locomotive. Which is there's two different LP 46s. So the second generation ones are Trex. The first generation ones are based on the BR 101. I don't know the technical name for it. Well, that is the technical name for it. I don't know the nickname.
But I completely forgot that because I forgot that NJ Transit did bought them locomotive from Germany. I completely forgot that.
Well, yeah, and the LP 45s are from Germany, but they're their own thing.
But it did crazy when you did think about it,
Yeah.
Now, there are a good amount of routes in New Jersey that would be.
No, they should. Their top priority should definitely be New Jersey Transit. They have to get something after that.
Jersey City, the Jersey City route,
Which one's Jersey City? Oh, is that the Atlantic City one?
Yeah, the Atlantic City.
No, they should not do that one. That one's stupid because it's only one train a day in each way. They should do. I would love to see the Northeast corridor, which they wouldn't do, but the Morristown line would be cool.
Heck, that would be.
Some of it's I think it's 80. Hold on, let me check. I think the Northeast corridor is the only route they have where trains get to 90. At least, obviously.
Well, I know an area in New Jersey get up to 150 mile per hour.
Oh yeah, that's Princeton Junction, but only the DSLs go that fast, obviously. I think New Jersey Transit is limited to 90, and Mark can do 125.
Funny.
Some of those stuffy.
Oof. Heck, what about the New Haven? That one New Haven line right there that have the modified MP locomotives? I'm talking about the dual mode locomotive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the P30. You're thinking of
the P30.
P32s.
Yeah, the ones that are diesel and electric, both that can actually run off a diesel and also on the stirred rail.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They should add for the Burlington rail, and then they can also use it for Metro North.
That would be amazing,
Yeah, no, those run right near me. The Amtrak Metro North uses them.
Heck, Amtrak still uses them up there,
Yeah.
But
yeah, all the Empire trains go near me.
Thing is that they're getting replaced really soon, It's sad.
Yeah, they're getting the stupid Siemens train sets. I don't know what they're going to do with the Lake Shores. They're probably just going to order normal dual mode dual mode third rail, whatever the hell, chargers.
Let's be honest, most of them I do not see them getting scrapped, but what I do see happening is some of them getting transferred to some, regional commuter rail lines,
Yeah.
Heck, and probably even to a, new, because let's be honest, some of them could probably even end up on, Metra. Am I right?
Nah, it's going to be prime movers.
Heck, Metra need to work. All right, I'm not trying to hate on Metra, but good God, Metra, come on, get over your love fetish of freaking EMDs. Am I right?
Well, they should just electrify at this point. They're so far behind. I mean, I know they're so underfunded, whatever. They can never fully electrify, but make an attempt to at least.
The only reason they're so underfunded is because of the corruption into cargo.
Yeah.
To imagine if everybody did that enough who work for the railroad and people right and they go into the government office and they throw them all out and now we run the place.
A bit cuckoo, but yeah.
That needs to happen,
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, we're tired of corrupt people who hate trains getting into office,
Yeah, like the last president of Amtrak was Richard Anderson or whatever. He hated trains.
Yeah, and he tried to turn Amtrak into an airline. You remember that?
Yeah.
Dude, dude is douchebag. I don't know how he was allowed to become president of Amtrak. He should have got denied.
Yeah.
And did find out a couple of days ago what happened is that let's oh god. Dude, look in the chat of the live stream. Didn't read it. Dude.
What do you Yeah. It's a good idea.
Yeah. Dude, I did see that. That was funny, But let me be honest. Thing is that Amtrak could step in, because Amtrak is thinking about using the electrified section of the cargo line.
The only problem with that is I think it's electrified at some weird thing. It's 1.5 kilovolts DC or something.
Heck, don't worry. Amtrak know how to solve that problem. Heck, there are railroads in Europe that solve it.
Special locomotives that could use that, but I say, well, Shoreline needs to have to switch out their equipment. They should just switch to 25 kilovolts, 60 hertz.
Yeah, I have to agree with that, but that is still a good standard. Heck, they do that standard in Japan.
Yeah, I think it's 50 hertz. It's either 60 or 50 hertz. Either or, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Dude, you're going to laugh at it. I'm about to do a live stream with Dimitri tonight. They will both be a YouTube collab live stream,
What happened?
Demo, Dimitri from the American Rail Club. We were both to do a, YouTuber collab tonight, but he decided to go out with his girlfriend and have some time with her, which I understand, and he needs some time because, it was hard for him losing Holly from last year,
Yeah. Bros before hoes.
Oof! Oh, sorry, Demo. If you are watching, you just got roasted. Am I right?
He didn't get roasted. He just broke rule 1.
Yeah, but
sorry for that.
I know, but Jane is that I do feel bad for what happened to Holly because what happened to her should have never happened. And the people who was selling that meth, they should have ended up in jail for what they did.
What happened?
You remember what happened to Holly?
No.
Demetrius' fiance.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know she was his fiance. I don't know what happened to her.
All right, let me just tell you. I talked about it on a live stream before. Holly took the meds because she was a survivor of domestic violence from her first marriage.
Yeah.
And the meds that she took helped her. What happened is that one of the pills had a little too much in it from the...
yeah.
It was misrepresented, and she took it a few minutes later, dead.
That's sucks.
And word seen yet is Dimitri was one who came home finding her dead on the floor.
Yeah.
But don't worry, karma got the company, because if you watch Dimitri live stream from about a couple months ago, we talked about it, and the people who they ended up having a fake Twitter made about them, and oh my god, that fake Twitter nuked their business.
Yeah.
So that was a total karma right there, you know? But it was hard on him, you know? Like, he wouldn't live stream worth nothing because of what happened, but I'm glad that he got back into the dating game, you know?
I guess.
But it sucked that he ended up being a widow before he even got married, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, but let's get back to some happier thought and some train stuff. You know? Can't harp on the past. Am I right?
Yeah. What the hell was I going to say? Oh, the new, no, I said that last week. TGV, I went to Czech Republic. I don't know, I was excited about that. I want to go see it.
Oof. I know. Heck, you know, I was thinking about this too. You know, there are some good short line railroads in California that could be done too, you know?
Yeah.
Heck, if they're going to do another California route, what they should be doing is not Union Pacific or BNSF. Like, good God, no.
They should do the Surfliner from TF2. TS Classic, I can't talk.
Heck, that
was one of the first routes I ever played. It was one of my favorite.
Heck, you know, same with that route, they did have freight to it. That too, you know?
Yeah, it has BNSF and they have Coaster.
That cool, but also there are some other rail lines too. Yeah, but yeah.
Sorry,
you know, they did it in Train Classic. You remember the Alaska Railroad?
Oh, they did that? That's awesome. I've been there real life. I didn't know they made the route.
Oh yeah, look it up right now, dude. Look it up. Train Simulator Alaska Railroad. They actually did it. Like, it did crazy, you know?
Do you agree the train sim road map was very boring? Like, the event of it was like elevators.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. Speaking of that, you know, one at a time, I think in a couple of years we might see Brightline, you know, being on train sim in a train sim world route, you know?
That'd be cool.
Heck, if they do that, it probably won't be, you know, from Miami to Orlando, you know, let's be honest. It probably gonna be the whole route.
No. It's like isn't it like 3 hours or something? That's too long.
It's 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah, they could. Well, they don't want to do all that urban stuff. I say they should probably do like maybe West Palm to Orlando or something.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of people also would love to have, you know, like the 40 East Coast. Like, let's be honest, having the 40 East Coast in Train Sim World, that would be amazing too. You know. Imagine operating one of their hydrogen locomotives, you know?
Wait, who has hydrogen locomotive?
Or not hydrogen, you know that LMG tank that the 40 East Coast does on their locomotive?
Oh, yeah, like biodiesel or something?
Yeah. Imagine operating at that in, you know, Train Sim World. Oh my god, that would be freaking awesome, you know?
That would be because they literally just need to take the ES-44 from BNSF and just reskin it for FEC.
I know. And thing is that, heck, the 40 Coast is the first railroad in the U.S. to go full-on biodiesel, you know?
Well, not full-on. They still have SD-40s and stuff.
True, and they're slowly, modifying them. Like their goal is, replace all the engine in their old locomotives to brand new
Well, yeah,
ones.
you saw the ET23 or whatever the hell CSX is doing to the ST40s.
Oh my god, I do not like that. I don't.
I mean, at least they're only doing it to like 20 of them.
That's good, but they're both be made for mainline freight trains. Like for like doing manifests.
What happened?
Those trains are both be for manifests. Like mainline manifests.
Yeah.
So it gonna be odd seeing a center not
ST40 with like those radiators or whatever the hell.
yeah going on a mainline freight train. Like M410 and all of that. But I'm not gonna lie. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I did find it right in the middle.
Yeah, I agree.
But it only 20 gems, so it's actually gonna be a unique catch. Like it gonna be
Yeah, but
unique.
I think NS got some too. I'm not sure.
They probably did. But yeah, what is very interesting in trying to catch 6-axle power, on a freight train,
Huh?
Down here on the line that I live right by the trout and stuff, it always enjoyment to get 6-axle power,
You never get 6-axle engines?
Or not 6-axle, 4-axle power.
I was gonna say, near me, the CSX line, I see nothing but AC-44s.
Like, it's very rare to get 4-axle power. The only thing that has 4-axle power on this line is Amtrak,
Yeah, same. Well, near me, but they operate different.
But
I just wish they'd operate on the line. It would be so much easier.
It's always cool, catching, like foreign power and stuff. Heck, even 4-axle power. Like, heck, one time I was a rail fan and I caught a SW 15,000 about over a month ago before me and my wife's anniversary.
Yeah,
I literally caught it.
I'm trying to go tomorrow. I'm hoping on the school. It's snowing right now, and it's supposed to snow through the night, so I'm hoping to get day off.
Dude.
I don't go. I wanted to go today, but my dad was busy. I couldn't go, but I can wait until next year on my driver's license.
But let's be honest. Like, I know you're hoping for a snow day tomorrow to get school canceled. Am I right?
Well, yeah, then I get to go see CSX or something.
Dude, New York and not New York State, but New York City is now doing online learning days. Can you believe that crap?
Oh, they're doing it up here, too. I just don't go to it.
Dude, screw it. Thing is that stop trying to ruin kids' snow days.
Yeah, no, it's like a vital more power. Okay, do a nuclear power plant. All right.
It's like a vital port for some childhoods,
Yeah.
Like, don't take that away from the future generations. Am I right?
Yeah.
Evel, is it one yours or mine?
What?
Is it one yours or mine?
That's yours.
Oh yeah. I had a fidget spinner from over a year ago that I have not opened yet.
I remember those.
Yeah, well, I actually have one, But, like, for God's sake, New York, stop trying to ruin kids' childhood,
New York has to ruin everything. Or California, you pick.
Both, But I'll be honest. On a day, what I'll be honest about date, like the snow days. Like, come on, stop trying to ruin kids' memories. You gotta be a asshole to do that. It probably the boomers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Am I right? But yeah. But it's something else. Oh, and speaking of that, there is 2 routes from Maine in Train Sim World. I'm in Train Simulator Classic, You know what? Hey man, you still there? Hey, you still there?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to tell you, there are two train route from Maine that are in Train Simulator Classic, you know?
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest, Maine is underrated when it comes to train watching, you know?
I've been there for a while.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Like, saying about Maine is that there's so much in Maine people don't realize, you know? Heck, I know the most busy line in Maine is, you know, the down eastern, you know?
Mhm.
The line that the down eastern go on, that's the most busy line in Maine, but there are also other lines that get almost same amount of train, but probably a little less, you know? But it's crazy when you did think about it. You know what I'm saying, man?
Oh, what is this going on?
Oh, God. Dude, I think I got someone so pissed because I brought out the spitted spinner, you know?
Mhm.
Dude, look. He said, let's be honest, you're going to hell. You're all going to hell. Dude, jeez. But, yeah, crazy, you know what I mean? Now, what about Wisconsin? You know, there's some good lines in Wisconsin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Wisconsin have some good lines, so that would be something to think about.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
My phone keeps cutting out. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. But, yeah. But, dude, do you think Dimitri are probably going to do a live stream tomorrow?
I don't know. I've been watching them.
Dude, you should be keeping up with what's been going on. Like, we were supposed to do a railroad strike about a couple of days ago. Like, 2 days ago, there would both be a railroad strike, you know?
Yeah. It's weird. Didn't happen.
And the thing is that it should have happened, you know? Like, the thing that I'll be on it about these people, they need to realize that these people are human too, you know? They're not robots. Am I right?
Well, that's what they're trying to replace them with.
Problem is they don't care about people. They care about is making money. Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I? But the thing that I'll be on it about the government need to crack on the class ones. Am I right?
Well, I mean, I can see the government want to piss them off because they're moving everything to support their country.
I know, but the people who work for them are getting sick and tired. You know?
Yeah.
And they really off, you know?
Uh-huh.
Heck, saying is that we don't start catching on to the railroad, eventually we're going to have a big collapse like we did with Penn Central. Am I right?
Yeah.
Penn Central will not be a good thing if it happened, you know?
No.
But yeah, but our rail system it's not that bad as it was back in the 60s and 70s, but it's still bad, you know? We did kind of effed ourselves up with that, you know?
Agreed.
But yeah. Oops, drop my chain. So, speaking of that, it's the last week of school for the year, am I right?
No, got all next week.
No, I'm talking about...
Wait.
Yeah, I'm talking about this week because You get.
No, I have all of this week and all of the week after. It's so stupid.
Are you serious? How? So you only have 1 week off for Christmas?
Yeah, we have off the Friday before Christmas. We don't have off the Friday before Christmas, so we only have that 1 week off.
Dude, what the fuck? What? All right, let me just tell you this. Down here in South Carolina, well, you can go ahead and say what you were going to say.
Oh, I was going to say we only have 3 days off for Thanksgiving break.
Dude, let me be honest. We get about 4 to 6 days off for Thanksgiving break, and then for Christmas we get about 2.5 weeks off.
Yeah. Now New York schools are ass. We take like Regents exams at the end of the year.
Dude, no wonder why a bunch of kids who go to school up there are coming down here, because the schools up there suck ass. Am I right?
Yeah.
Heck, and you guys don't get out to summer until, right near to July. Am I right?
Yeah, like middle of June.
And I know for a fact you guys don't go back to school until late September. Am I right?
No, it's like first, like beginning of second week of September.
Oof. So, heck, because school down here get out right at the beginning of the summer, like beginning of July. And everybody don't go back to school until August 15th,
Oh, so we have a slightly longer. No, not the same. Same summer break, pretty much.
But dude, let's be honest. If you had school here in August, you'd be hating it, because let's be honest. If you turn to school in August here, you'll be baking like a mother effer,
Yeah.
Trust me, schools around here during the beginning suck. Like, let's be honest. School everywhere suck, because let's be honest, it's not that they teach you
everywhere. Like, I just wish school be less annoying.
Dude, let's be honest, all
break times and all that.
Dude, all school teaches you to be a freaking slave, to a big corporate, and that's all they teach you to do. Am I right? They never teach you to, be independent. They don't even teach you cooking skills,
Well, they do. There's actually a lot of cooking classes in my school for some reason.
Not here in South Carolina. The only time they do it for culinary art and, like for restaurant, but not for life skill. They don't even do life skills down here,
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm serious, Val.
Oh, no.
But they don't do life skills in school around here,
Yeah.
Do they do it up there or no?
They do. We have a lot of electives we can take, which I guess is good.
Dude, literally, we don't even have classes that are life skill oriented. Like, they don't even teach you how to do taxes down here.
Oh, no.
Well, I don't think it's anywhere.
Also, they don't teach you, how to get a job properly. Like, literally, some of the stuff that they don't teach you is very, very tough, that you need to be able to live,
Mm-hmm.
But am I right?
Yeah.
But yeah. Dude, I just thought of something funny. Imagine a, freaking DLC for Train Sim World where you're freaking having a train in Ukraine right now,
Oh, you know the stupid, the Christmas thing they're doing?
What
The
Christmas thing?
Christmas DLC, they're charging $10 for that.
Oh, yeah. That is just
So
stupid.
They just free.
That should be...
I'd consider playing it if it was free.
Heck, dude, it would have been fine if it were free, but it don't look that good, Am I right?
No, it isn't. It just looks like a room with, Christmas stuff in it.
Like, Jesus. Like, I'll be honest. They could have done better. Heck, they could have done, something like the Polar Express. Am I right?
That'd be cool.
You know, someone actually in Train Simulator with a Z actually building a freaking Polar Express route right now.
Cool.
And I'm following them on YouTube. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't realize stuff. Here's something else. Railroads in Kentucky. You know, like, there are a bunch of area in Kentucky that could be good for Train Sim World, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, like, every state have something unique that would be great for Train Sim World, you know? You know what I'm saying?
I
But
gotta go with a few.
alright, well, I gotta get ready to end the live stream really soon anyway.
Alright.
But
Have a good one.
you have a night, Ben.
You too. See ya.
Thank you.
Alright. There we go. That with him. Might get one more person on. Let's see if Brightline. Alright, look like Brightline. Brightline are probably busy with something in the country he in right now. But I cannot believe they kind of got rid of one of the routes. That's crazy. Did the updated Amtrak Connect F plan right here. Updated. It mind-boggling because there's some stuff that they need to work on that I think they could have added on with this, you know? With the old one added on, you know? Because they kind of shot their itself in the foot with that. It's kind of dumb on how everything is going, you know? Alright. Look like they're going to be in the new one, a rail hub in Kansas City for multiple Amtrak routes, even more than the old one. Hey, not crazy. You can actually take a train from. Crazy with the Amtrak Connect Up plan now that they're going out to freaking Mexico. That's crazy. Now, before I end the live stream, let's get on to the little boy right here. Oops. Particularly, I would do a review of one of the good ones. I cannot wait until these suckers go into service because, oh my god, that's gonna be awesome.
Oh, I'm talking to your phone.
But yeah.
Shit, sorry. Sorry.
Val. Oh my god, I'm just doing Papachine. Val. Do not make it any care. Clue. Oh Lord, the magazine. Yeah, well, I do multiple shit. I'll be honest. Did right here in this photo, I actually mapped out the whole thing. Would be good for a Train Sim World route. It's unique on what it operates. That would be diamond in a rough right there. Same with the railroad right here and this one. There are so many American routes that they could be doing for Train Sim World. And that I'm not even joking. Look at that. That right there is cool. It's pretty cool when you think about some of this shit. I only mapped the area out too. Good. Little bit that nice. But yeah, it's cool always looking at stuff. Now, if there is one of the days and down the line, I might actually do a live stream down at the train depot in the future. That's something I'm actually thinking about doing down the line in the future. Now, this rail line right here, with this, I actually did the whole route at a track plan ideal. Because of how interesting the whole route is. But yeah. Kind of cool that I caught a CXX one. Hopefully I catch some other one of that too. And they're all New England now. Now Canadian. Hey, there's so much untapped potential with so many American routes that they keep on shooting themselves in the foot. Hopefully one day that might change. Like another good area too. Like I actually mapped that area out before. I need to check on it again one of these days. But yeah, but look at all this. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That cool right there. The Rio Grande. R.I.P. them. Didn't hear one thing. Velvet or Butterfinger, but yeah. But that is crazy. But I hope y'all enjoyed the live stream. It already 9:06. I got work in the afternoon tomorrow around 12:30. But Val got to get ready to go to bed. But I hope y'all enjoyed the live stream. Please like and subscribe. And we'll talk to you guys later. Up 1 minute. Oh. Oh. Come on.